Pozo. In my casa, no my castle. I'm a hasa, no I'm a...
The visual arts are pretty broad. They can be design arts, and which includes web design or design of objects around the house. So the visual arts are all in our society, but in a more technical way, I guess, in the day and out life. In my particular area where I do public art and sometimes work with community, and also I create ceramic sculptural, individual sculptural items for gallery shows. I'm working with things that are trying to connect more with individuals and people and connect people to their humanity, the art as part of our being human. That role is very important today in today's society because society is so digitally or connected, and we're not humanly connected. So I think as far as the kind of arts that I do helps us to connect to our humanity because of the media and everything. And so I'm not really part of all those images as far as for my inspiration, so that I see it as there's more need to look for things that have meaning. Images can just be available so quickly, we don't have time to live with it and to give it meaning and to have it be a meaningful part of our life because, boom, there's another one right away. We don't get a chance to have a relationship with it. So with doing public art, where I try to make some connections to either the site or the people using the site or to the history of the site so that people get a connection to, can obtain a connection to whatever is happening there, as well as the individual work, or as well as engaging community. Sometimes I'm actually physically working with the community and engaging them, bringing them through the creative process, or just engaging them in finding out history or whatever. But that it's goes back to that human connection. So I see it more, as all those images as something that I need to help create some meaning to at least some of the images that either I create or maybe take away from some of that barrage. The areas I work in are very broad. Public art can be a lot of different mediums. It could be video, it could be sculpture, it could be a painting, and it could be something that's interactive. It's so broad that it's hard to have a handful of images that would be dominating in that area. I think that there's a lot of creativity and edges of envelopes being pushed in that area. So there is such a broad variety of things there that I, once again, don't really see a repeated image. Maybe if I just moved into one faction of that whole world, but I don't find it within my area or industry. One of my favorite visual artists for a long time has been Antonio Gaudí. He's an architect in Barcelona who did a lot of work in Barcelona, Spain. He's long dead now, but he operated in the 20th century and created these very sculptural architecture that was very organic and was very different than what had been going on before that. So it was very inspiring to see this architectural sculptures, basically. The art that I would go to get inspired. I enjoy looking at a lot of contemporary art, in awe of a lot of things that artists are doing these days, and gain a certain amount of inspiration, but more of a deeper inspiration or connection. I have, throughout my development as an artist, usually really gravitated to things that have that are more historic or primitive or older, or even contemporary work that has that kind of feel to it of weathering of time and passing of time and what's famous. But I guess so. Looking at those more historical pieces that have stood the test of time has influenced my creative process by picking on the part of it or picking up on the part of it that is universal, that still calls out to us even after all these years and sometimes centuries, and what's famous. But I guess so. Looking at those more historical pieces that have stood the test of time,